with car news. I know I've been on hiatus a little bit. I had a really bad sinus infection that spread to my ears and all kinds of crap. So now I'm back, kind of. There's still a little bit of reverberation, but I think I will be able to tolerate it for the rest of the episode. So let's get on to car news. First thing, the Cadillac Soleil is embodying the rock-like aesthetic. This is a new concept car from Cadillac. Obviously, it will never go into production, and if it does, you know that it's going to be very different to what it looks here. I love the yellow. I love yellow. If I could buy any car in the world, I had any money, it would be a 1980 Porsche 911 SC yellow Targa. That would be the car that I'd buy. Look it up. Very pretty car. And I love the color yellow, so I think it looks very good. It reminds me of French vanilla ice cream. You know that yellow French vanilla ice? It's always the best vanilla ice cream. That's what it reminds me of. It just looks the best. Also, Toyota will be living the NHRA drag racing after 2025 season. Boo, I guess. Toyota's okay. I'm going to talk about my disheartening with Toyota in another video that'll come out soon, within the next few days. I really don't like Toyota anymore. It's a bitter divorce, right? It's like I'm being divorced from Toyota. It's like in Mrs. Doubtfire, where, he's like, don't we love each other? And she's just like, I'm sorry, but I want a divorce. That's me with Toyota right now. I'm not, they're just, I can't believe it. After the entire wicked Lexus TX, it's just, is this Toyota the car company that can make decent cars? Or is this a bunch of corporate shills that took over the company and are not, Toyota, on my bad side. It's not a good thing. Also, the Hyundai Palisade is previewed with square shape and lovely interior. Hyundai, they're insane. Hyundai is kind of interesting and scary. Interesting, I'm actually going to press and hold. Interesting in the way that it's kind of setting the trend for what a car company needs to be. I would say some Hyundais can be more reliable than Toyotas. I really do think that. And so it's kind of interesting where they're setting the record now straight for what a car company should be, what styling's going to be for this all new century. Well, not a new century, but you know what I mean. New era of the car industry, new fads coming out that are not just, electrified like they've been for the past 20 years. But it's also scary in that their cars suck. A lot of them really suck real bad. Like, I'm not talking like, oh, it's not going to last 100,000 miles. I mean, they catch fire. So it's kind of interesting, but it's also kind of terrifying. Also, 200,000 Honda Pilot and Passport SUVs have been recalled for a fuel leak, so that's amazing. I grew up in Oregon, and a lot of people, they were just kind of warming up to Japanese cars, and they really love the Honda Passport. Whenever I would go to, like, a soccer game or something, there would be, like, 7 Honda Passports in, like, all this maroon color that they were all in for some reason, and that was just, the norm of what things were. And now to see it be terrible, fuel leak, redesigned poorly, it's just, This is a great thing. A Mazda EV conversion kit adds power and weight, but can be undone. EVs are interesting. I love EVs. I love Wegos. I love the light little cars. And I, of course, love the high-performance Teslas and crap like that, right? And I think that this is great. This is, where EV should be. Fun little sports car. And remember, the fun part of an electric motor is not so much the speed, which it is good at. It's that torque, That's something that I noticed with my Prius. The Prius is not a car that is at all fun to drive. And yet I own 2 of them. So I'm almost falling asleep while I'm driving. I'm not. That was a joke, okay? Don't call it the Oregon Police Department on me. The Portland Police Department. But, they're very boring cars. But one thing I have noticed, that electric motor's kind of fun, Going through an intersection, your battery's fully charged, the engine doesn't feel like it needs to kick in, and, you feel. My friend just bought a 2012 plug-in Toyota Prius he was going to buy a brand new one. I'm like, no, they suck. Don't buy a new Toyota, right? You'll get scammed. You'll end up paying $60,000. And he likes it more than the new one, of course, with an upgraded stereo unit, heated seats, and all kinds of crap. Oh, my Apple Watch is making noises at me. What? Fantastic. An ad. And the electric motor in that, it's very torquey. So it's kind of enjoyable, when you're going downhill or through an intersection. So I think that'd be really fun in something as light as a Miata. And I'm sure it gets great performance because it's, so light. No, it's not. Jaguar, if you My issue with the advertising, a lot of people say, it's woke, it's whatever. A big or so argument was about how the advertising for Jaguar is different in each country. Like, they would remove certain diverse people from the ad in certain continents because, they weren't ready for that yet, or whatever, or they didn't want to alienate their user base. And then there were some people out there that's like, your Ford F-150, 100 million, whatever, dollars, $150 in your bank account will never be able to afford a Jaguar. People, my only issue with the ad is that there's no damn cars. It's just more corporate shills making corporate shill crap to sell awful, terrible cars. Jaguar cars used to be so great. They used to be so awesome. They used to be so cool, and now they stink. Look at this. It looks like a cat trying to take a poo. It'll be impossible to reverse or do anything because there's no rear window. And the back of it, I thought the Cybertruck was ugly. Boy, is this thing ugly. Jaguar could have just continued to make, decent vehicles. But no. Also, the Ford Puma Gen E is a practical, affordable EV for Europe. Ford, they said they were done with EVs and that they're done with transitioning, but that doesn't mean that EVs don't have a place in their lineup, and I think that this is a great EV. Small, compact crossover, I'm sure it comes in all-wheel drive, and for Britain, that across the pond, it's a whole different bag of worms there. Weird analogy, but okay, sure, gonna run with it. They like smaller cars there with tighter turning circles. We just like big America, heck yeah, So I'm sure the reason why it's only going to Europe is because Americans wouldn't want or appreciate something like this. But it's neat, and I think, EV transportation, especially in more cramped countries, will be great. You don't have to have gas stations, as long as your grid can support it. Or else you're the stupidest person ever. Are you smarter than a 5-year-old? No. Are you smarter than Gavin Newsom? Probably. Asking people, mandating that people buy electric vehicles, and then telling them they can't charge them because the grid can't handle it. Stupid people. Also, the 2025 Toyota Supra A90 Final Edition is a special goodbye we don't get yet. It's probably going to come to America. It's just a final edition of the Toyota Supra. So yeah, there's only like 300 copies that we know of that will only be sold in Europe and Japan. And it's the end of this. I don't know I think it's the Supra altogether of this model, but we know the end of the Supra was a long time ago, but this is not a Supra. This is a BMW. And I'm not saying that because it's not a good car. It's a good car. It's a nice BMW. It's a very nice BMW. But it's not a Toyota. It doesn't have any of the thing that, the original Toyota Supra was so great. Because it was reliable. It was easily tunable. That's why people loved it. This is just your fussy bings and bongs at you when you touch anything. I was watching Top Gear the other day, and Jeremy Clarkson was complaining about this new BMW, and he was like, I found a way to get it to stop binging and bonging at me. And then he takes the key out of the ignition. That's exactly how it is. They're just so annoying, and it's not a Toyota, It's blatant to tell it is absolutely not a Toyota. I'm sure, in a year or so, or, again, I'm not completely sure. I'm sure that this is just going to be the end of this generation and not the Supra altogether. But we'll see what corporate company the shills at Toyota decide to go with for the next Supra. So maybe Jaguar, Why not? The Jaguar Type 00 concept previews a striking new design language. By striking, you mean hideous? I think we can all tell. First of all, I find it ironic that they're showing this with, purple thing in the rocks. A single one of those rocks would take off that front bumper. A single one. It has the biggest wheels I've ever seen in a car, and yet it can't even make it over a pebble. That rock right there, the entire plastic crappy, piece of shit front of that face, is just getting ripped off and it's going to drive over itself. That's exactly what's going to happen. I remember watching Wham Bam Tesla Cam. That happened to someone once. Anyway, Toyota has also confirmed a new Celica sports car is coming. I said this last episode. Now, is this me running out of news and repeating news? No, this is because I have a different perspective. Last episode I was naive, and I was excited, ooh, new Celica! We love the Celica, yay! And then I remembered that this isn't the thousands Toyota that we loved, that did cool things, that made actually good cars. This is the corporate shills, I'm saying that a lot, Toyota, the sellouts, that made the stupid, wicked Lexus TX, throw out all the luxury guys, just put some random crap because Disney wants us to, right? All that bullshit. It's the same company, so I'm sure it's going to come out and it's going to be a bud. But it costs $100,000. But it looks like the new Prius. But it's actually a hybrid crossover, because you want to know it, why the hell not? Toyota, I can't deal with Toyota. Also, another thing, I've complained about Kias for a very long time doing this. Kia. The only reason why Kia was ever good in the first place was because they were cheap, because they were affordable. My grandparents bought Hyundais for the first, million years of their life because they were cheap. Bought a minivan, got a car. That's when they bought Hyundais. And then over the years, they started getting more expensive and bigger. They didn't want that. They wanted gas mileage. They wanted a small compact car that was great in traffic. And they didn't want a heavy price tag. And yet the new Kias have all of that. This, believe it or not, is a Kia Sportage. That's right. The same, mid-size SUV that you can buy for $10,000 on Auto Trader is now this behemoth, small window crossover thing with the ugliest wheels. Why do they do this? 4 spokes does not look pretty. 4 of anything does not look pretty. I don't like the number 4. The number 4 is fine. It's just a number. But I don't like the 4 arrangement on wheels or ceiling fans or something. 5. 5 looks much prettier. Or so many spokes that you can't even count. 6 I think is kind of ugly. But 7, that's decent. 8, more decent. The higher the number, the less it's able to notice that it's a weird number. This just looks so ugly. It doesn't look, like they did this a lot in the thousands, when the, what's it called? Honda Element and Toyota FJ Cruiser were coming out. The big, buff, sturdy, grrr wheels. This doesn't look like that. It looks like cheap plastic that's going to come off and reveal when you change your tire and you have that little, comes in a crossbar formation and it's silver. What do they call that? And you use it to take the lug nuts off. I'm sure that's what's actually under there, and this is all just clip-on plastic crap. Also, VinFast is bringing their VF9 in the US. Also, I made a Chinese EV video, and I put VinFast in there. I was trying to make the point in, I don't write scripts, but I write what, I want the tone of the video to be about. And I wanted it to be VinFast as a bad car company, equating them to Chinese car companies, even though VinFast is Vietnamese? Yeah. And yet I said VinFast was Chinese, because I'm a moron, and I completely forgot about the entire direction of the video, even though I was staring at the thing while I was making the video. VF9, I'm sure it's gonna suck. VinFast is exactly like Fisker with the Fisker Ocean. They just haven't gone bankrupt yet, so just think of it that way. Oh, wow, another one of those. That's great. Also, the Defender is set for the Dakar Rally in 2026. I read about this stuff. I never say it, because remember, a year ago, I didn't have any, a Jalopnik article actually worked. Wow. I didn't have any platform to be talking about anything. The Tesla factory in California pollutes so much that it's second only to an oil refining company. Guys, we know this. EVs were never the savior of the ocean, the savior of the planet. You don't need gas anymore. First of all, a lot of the people telling you that, like Elon Musk, drive, jets that will emit more bullshit that we will never be able to get out of the atmosphere, that will just have to, magically just disappear naturally over millions of years. They put more of that crap in the atmosphere than you ever will in your entire lifetime, in your kids' lifetime. And yet they are the ones standing in front of the podium, like Gavin Newsom. Oh yeah, we should go to EVs. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. They know not that they are stupid. Stupid people. This isn't hard math either. Gavin, and again, this isn't political, right? Gavin Newsom is a Democrat. I have nothing, against him for his political choices or political party. I don't care about that. What I care about is him being stupid to lead the Californian people to buy EVs that they can't even charge. The government doesn't even want him to charge. You want to know how this contradiction happens? Because he doesn't give a shit about his people. He didn't give a crap about anything. He cares about money, or being the nominee, or whatever, his power. That's all he cares about. So he'll say anything. Oh yeah, you should all switch over to EVs. And then when shit hits the fan, wow, there are a lot of EVs, because we said that people should buy EVs. Wow, we actually can't charge these EVs. Oh, tell them not to charge the EVs, but tell them to buy them and sell their cars. Yeah, I'm just tired at this point. I'm tired of cars. I'm not tired of cars. I love cars. I will never give up cars as a hobby. I'm tired of Toyota, which is most of the cars that I investigate and research. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And, I've been missing so much because that divorce with Toyota, it is